Hello and welcome everyone to another video. I want to quickly demonstrate you a script that I've wrote over the past few days. It is for downloading the thumbnail images from VRChat Worlds so that it automatically adds tag information and that I can easily import it into my Illusion project. To quickly demonstrate what it does, I have my VRChat favorite list called Illusion with currently 12 worlds inside of it. I run my script. I first need to, log in, enter my password. You might need to add multi-factor authentication if you use this for the first time. And now it will automatically download the thumbnail images for all of these worlds, including the tags. So if we go, man, now I don't have it open, to the thing. It downloads it into the thumbnail folder. We have 12 items here. It is finished. We have all of this here. We can simply copy those into my folder where I have the Illusion images. And if I go into Illusion, it recognizes 11 new images. It's because one of them was already in there. And if we simply click on Settings, import text from file metadata, then we can see that they automatically have some tags. If it's Android or not, it will have the tags that the world itself has as well as tags. This is just approved, okay. Maybe take another one. Here, architecture, chill, art, abstract, marble. So it will automatically add these tags. And it will also automatically insert the creator URL into the meta tags. So you can just click here and then you get to the world. And it will also automatically insert the creator name in here and name the file how the world itself is called. Okay, so now you know what this thing is doing. Now I'll show you how to maybe use this yourself, and also I'll quickly go over what the code actually does, or how much I understand it at least. So first of all, there's a link in the description to Gist on GitHub. It's this thing. It's basically just this code. You can download that as a zip, or you can show it as raw and then save as and then download it. You will need Python to run it. It is written in Python. Before running it, you'd probably want to change a couple of things in the script. You can open it with any editor like Notepad, Notepad++, or Visual Studio. So if you want to run it, first of all, you would probably want to set your output directory. VRChat requires you to authenticate and set a user agent. So you will need to supply an email address that they can contact you with, because they don't want people to abuse their API. So I'd ask you to supply your own email address here. Playlist 0 is which playlist you want to download the thumbnails of. So if we go back to my favorite worlds, this is world 0, world 1, world 2, world 3. I think it's alphabetical. So I think if I rename these things, then it's probably not the same. But I know for me, world 0 is my Illusion playlist. So I'll keep it at world 0. And the amount is set to 100 by default. You can only have 100 worlds in playlists. So I set it to that. But for testing purposes, you can also put it to 5 or 1 if you don't want to spam VRChat API. So you need to customize that. You will need Python to run it. You also need to install some libraries so that it works. You need VRChat API, the Python library. You need requests to download the images. You need EXIF to add the tags into the file metadata. And you need PIL to compress the images and resize the images. I think these are all the libraries you need. How do you get these libraries? If you have a command line and you have Python installed already, very important. Python usually comes with pip, and then you can use pip install VRChat API, for example, and then it will tell me it's already installed. But basically, this is what you have to do with all of the mentioned libraries. So once you have Python installed, you have all the libraries installed that you need, you have this customized to what you personally need and want, you can run the script. You can either run it from Visual Studio right here. If you edited it in Notepad++ or something like that, you can also open a command line where the script is placed, enter py, and download thumbnails, and then it will run it. You can enter your credentials, and then it will, in this case, I don't have my cookie stuff here yet. So MFR, I talked about it already. So it will ask for this. So I got an email, I enter the MFR code, and then it will log me in and export or download all the images. Yay, you made it. Let's stop this because I don't need this anymore. We interrupted. And now it saved our cookies in here so that if we run it from this location again, we don't need to do the multi-factor authentication again. And we have the images here. So if you just want to use this for yourself, feel free to end the video here. I will now kind of try to explain what I think the code does. This video is going to be a little bit messed up and scuffed because I have no idea. Quick disclaimer as well, I don't know how to code properly. I haven't touched code in like 4 years. And a lot of this is trial and error. It does the job for me. It might do something for you. It might be interesting for you. I don't know. I've also been procrastinating this video way too much and did like 5 recordings already where I started over because it was not perfect. But it's gonna be a scuffed video, okay? It's gonna be a little bit longer where I just show you what I think might be important for you to know. And maybe it's interesting for you. Maybe it's not. It's not a super polished video, probably, maybe. Yeah, just disclaimer, clean it up yourself if you want to. Yeah. Also a funny story, I'm using a furry avatar right now, right? It's not very expressive yet because it's kind of new and I rushed it. But it's so funny because I got a Quest Pro to get face tracking, or like eye tracking, and I used this model in VRChat to test face tracking and eye tracking, and the next day I started coding. It's so funny, the coincidence. Like, I start using furry avatars, and then boom, I'm coding. Isn't that funny? I think it's funny. Anyways, let's go through the code to quickly explain what I think it does. So first, we set the variables, what I told you already. We create the output directory if it doesn't exist yet. We ask for the user credentials. So whenever you run the script, you will have to enter your username and your password. At the start, I did have it hard-coded in here. You can do that if you don't want to enter it all the time, but I'd recommend not leaking your stuff or having it hard-coded anywhere. So we use it with input. So this stuff, at the start, I had to always enter my two-factor authentication code whenever I was running the script, which was really annoying. There is this save and load login cookies and login function, which I have no idea how it works. I tried to understand it, but really it's hard. I don't know. Like it saves. Oh, come on. Yeah, it saves cookies into a cookies.txt file and loads them so that you don't have to do it every time. So it does the job. I copied the code from this person in the VRChat API Discord. This person copied a very useful code file in here. And I basically started off with this and then extended it with my own needs. To give credit, so we kind of just skip over the login authentication stuff and explain what I actually know what it does. Kind of. Oh my god. Why am I even explaining this? I don't know. Good. And this is the interesting part. Download illusion images. I named it like that. It's not gonna. It's basically just for myself, right? It's not gonna be perfect. But somebody in the stream was asking me to provide this to the general public, and I love sharing. So even if it's amateur code, I want people to maybe use this for themselves if they have different use cases. Good. So this is the function that does all the interesting stuff. Download illusion images. We call it down here in main, and yeah, I don't know, I'm not a coding person, but basically we just call this, and then this is everything that happens. First we initiate the worlds instance and favorites instance because the API is kind of weird. I don't even remember what is happening, man. It's been like 3 days and I forgot everything. So we set the playlist. We set if it is a world or avatar. It only works for worlds, by the way. Then playlist is gonna be which one, world 0. And then the amount is how many of the worlds from that playlist you want to load. And then you go through every favorite of that favorite list. It's not yet a world so far, it's only a favorite, which is kind of annoying, but yeah. We check, first we set is Android compatible to false. And now out of this favorite, we get the actual world details. So we get the world from the world ID or favorite ID, it's the same. And then we try to save the thumbnail. First of all, we define the file name. That's one of the really annoying things. VRChat allows any kind of item, characters for author names, for account names, for world names. So I have to clean it up because the EXIF tool down here couldn't really handle files with special characters. So it's a little bit annoying because if you have Japanese characters, like here, it will simply cut them out. It will just be bar, Charlotte, Jen. I mean, I can see what it did. Yeah, bar, Charlotte, Gentle Dream, it was simply just the English characters. It still has a couple of special characters like the apostrophe or exclamation mark or something like that. But all the other special characters like Chinese, Japanese will unfortunately be cut off. But yeah, it's fine. So it will, where was I? It will clean it up. So if a character is not in string.printable, it will simply be ignored. Then if a file or a world only has special characters, so if only has special characters, then the file name will be just the world ID, not the actual name of the world. We do the same thing with the artist. So we get the artist of that world and we clean it up and only leave the printable stuff in. And if the artist also has only special characters, I just set the artist to a string called special characters only. Good, so we have cleaned that up. Now we set the file path PNG, which is the output directory, thumbnails, and the file name. And we set the file path for the JPEG because we compress it. We just replace the PNG with JPEG. And now we try to download the image. Image data will be the raw image data. Requests is a library to download images through an API. So we download it, world image URL, and supply the user agent. This is not happening with the authenticated, like you log in at the start with your user data, yes, but downloading the image is actually not happening with your account, it's with the public API key. That's why you also have to supply the user agent. So then you download that. I don't know what this does. That's just what it spit me out in Copilot. Yeah, I was also using a lot of Copilot to work with this. Very helpful actually to understand or get started with coding. So we download the image data in here. Then we save it. This is handle.write. Boom, it's saved. And now we open the image again that we just saved. We resize it to 800 by 600 because I don't want it to be huge. We convert it to JPEG, convert to RGB, and save it again under the file path JPEG with quality of 4D. because I want it to be compressed. I upload all of this to Git again later, and it's annoying when this is really big, because it's already rather big. Like if you go here, releases, how big is it? It's like 126 megabytes. It's quite big for just having a couple of image files. Yeah. And it's not important. Like in here, if this is not high quality, it doesn't matter too much. It's good to have the visual cue, how it looks like, but I think if it's compressed or JPEG, it's fine. Good. And then we delete the PNG file again, and we have it rescaled. Now the interesting part happens with the tags and the EXIF tool. So first of all, we need to check if the world is Android compatible. And that is actually a little bit annoying. You don't really have a tag directly for that in the world API. You only have a couple of different Unity packages. Like if you have only one Unity package, it could be Android or it could be Windows. So we go through all the Unity packages in that world and check if the platform of that Unity package is Android. And if yes, then we set it to true. And then this is also a little bit scuffed, but whatever. Okay, no, whatever. Maybe I will. So yeah, we check if there is one version that's Android compatible. And if that is the case, we get the world tags. Where do we set it first, actually? Like somewhere earlier, I think. Maybe not. Oh yeah. So we get world.tags that is already supplied with the API, and we save it into a variable called world tags. And we always add Android as the first one, because I want the Android tag to be in the very front, so that I know if it's Android or not instantly. And then we add all the other tags within, as long as they're not called system approved, because there's a couple of automatically generated tags which I don't really need in my project. So there's one that's called system approved. Yeah, if there is no Android compatible, we don't add Android in front. Then we clean up a little bit more, because there's still a couple of tags in that I don't need. For example, there's a couple of admin tags, there's a couple of system tags. Like if it's a specific world jam, if it is admin approved, something like that. I don't really care about that, so I delete that. And all the tags originally also come with author tag and then column or something like that. And that was really cluttering it up in here. I don't need to have author tag in front of all of this. So I get rid of that too. I capitalize the first letter because it looks way nicer when it's capitalized at the start. And I already had a tag called RP with both capitalizations. So if it's happened to be RP, I replace it with RP both capitalized, so that it uses the tags that I already have here. Because with this method, I will obviously add a lot of custom tags, because people use different tags. And I want to use the ones I already made myself, in case that's the case. Yeah, good. Now we have our variable with world tags, which does everything we want. It has all the tags capitalized without unnecessary things. And now we need to set that into the image file itself. So we use the EXIF tool, set tags function, the file name where we want to set it, and set the keywords and the subject to the world tags. The artist is the clean artist name, which we set somewhere higher up. The creator work URL is the link with the world ID. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, this is a huge help for me, because in the past I used to manually download all of these images from the website, which was annoying. I used VRCX in the end for it. I had to manually enter the creator link into the file tags. I manually had to set the creator. I manually had to put in the tags. It was a lot of effort, and this will really speed up my process of doing this. Maybe it helps you too. I hope so. Please don't kill me for this very awkward video. Maybe it even helps you. Maybe it motivates you to get started with something that you wanted to automate yourself, but you didn't get the courage to do so. It is a lot of effort. It took me probably 20 hours to just write the script, but now, whenever I do actually save my images, I have everything done within one click. And in the past, I had to spend maybe 2 hours doing that. What is now one click. So after a few weeks or months, this has probably paid it off. You can do cool stuff when you can code. Anyways, I wish all of you a wonderful rest of your day. Hope you maybe could have something useful out of this. And see you next time. Bye bye. It's so stupid, man. It's gonna be so awkward. Is it weird that I'm going through the code? I don't know. I feel like it is weird, but maybe it's not. Maybe I shouldn't go through the code. It's so awkward. I don't know. I hate, like, as a stream, that would be perfect, but making a video like that and recording it on my own is so weird to me. I don't know if I will upload this. Oh my god, this is probably the most awkward video I've ever done because I have no idea what I'm actually talking about. And it looks so weird having my avatar being very not expressive and the mouth is barely moving. And, oh my god, yeah. Oh my god. I think I need to do that stuff on a stream, otherwise I feel so awkward doing that.